Hey everyone, good evening. Good evening to all. Hi guys, am I audible to you all? Just let me know quickly. Am I audible and visible to you all people? Sorry guys for waiting, keeping you wait for more. Like we are late for 3 to 4 minutes. I know there was some network issue from my side, so we were unable to go live. And sorry for the inconvenience if any caused. Yes, yes. Is my voice and audio means audio and video both are clear for you people? Good evening, Shivam. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Palak. Uh, yes, audible, visible. Is the attendance link available? Yes, you need to mark your attendance for these 3 days of bootcamp. We'll explain you everything shortly about how to mark your attendance, how to get the certificate, and what are things we are going to cover, and who is the trainer for this Java bootcamp. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. I can see people are quite active like in the chat, and it's good to see that you people respond to us. So hope you will be like continuously throughout the session. You will be there with us and replying to the query or the questions that ma'ams asked with you. Is it starting or not? We are live, guys. So I think there is some network issue. Yes, it's okay. Okay. So guys, without wasting time, let me introduce myself. My name is Anam Khan. I'm one of the team member of Let's Upgrade, and I'm here to give you all like a small brief, like what are we going to learn in this 3 days of boot camp, and also how to mark your attendance, how to get the certificate. So by marking your attendance throughout this all 3 days of boot camp, you will be getting your certificate on day 3. So just let me share my screen quickly. I hope it's visible to you all also. So guys, yes or no, is my screen visible to you all? Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. So, guys, here in the description box, here you can see for registration, attendance, certificate, assignment for all. We have one link. We call it as a one link. As for on the same page, you can find everything. If you want any, if you want to join our community, mark your attendance, get the certificate, or any other information related to the bootcamp, you can find on this all in one link itself. So, scroll down the page. Here you can see beside day one, here you can see mark attendance toggle. Click on it. First of all, you need to enroll for this program. If you haven't, please go make sure that you are enrolling for this boot camp. Then only you will get to see this mark attendance toggle. So here is a rating scale on 1 to 10. You can rate it according to yourself, how much you like the session. Please be like be loyal, give your ratings accordingly, like how much you like the session. And if there is any improvement that is needed, if you are giving 9, if you are giving 8, then is there any feedback, like improvement we need to do, please feel free to put it here. For now I will give nothing and mark my attendance. So after marking the attendance, here you can see the progress bar has increased. It will increase day by day as you people mark your attendance. For now it is 33%. So on day 2, day 3, it will increase accordingly. And also on day 3, when you mark your attendance, your certificate will get unlocked. You can see your generate certification option right below this progress bar. So yeah, you can generate your certificate, put all the necessary details, so and you can download your certificate. And also we have a WhatsApp and Discord channel. If you we share there daily reminders, updates, invites, upcoming events information, and many more opportunity for you people. So yeah, you can join us there to get daily updates from us. And we have this student ambassador program. If this comes like 502 gateway, then please make sure that you are refreshing your page again and again. Yeah, and for same for the attendance, if you are unable to mark your attendance, if there is coming 502, please make sure that you are reloading your page again and again. Make it do a hard refresh. It will work. Okay, now, yeah, the page is working now. So yeah, make sure that you are refreshing your page again and again if that comes up. So here is the student ambassador program. It is a 1 month program and it's free, no cost, no fee, nothing you have to pay. Just and apply for this program. There is there It's a 1 month program. There's certain targets, certain things you need to achieve. Then you get to unlock your swags, that is gold, silver, bronze, and also you get you get the chance to meet industry leaders, attend exclusive workshops, and also win coupons and everything. So yeah, you can apply for this, and also it will be valuable to add on in your resume. So yeah, and also guys, we are running this postman challenge where after completion you get eligible for the giveaways that we are giving, like it, which includes gaming keyboard, Alexa Echo, and also okay, where we are giving away Alexa, we are giving earbuds, we are giving gaming keyboard, and smartwatch also. So yeah, you can join means complete the postman and get eligible for those swags, for those gifts. And if anything else, you people have any other question, any other query, you please feel free to ask in the chat. We are here to help you out, and the trainer will be there throughout the session to clear your queries. Also guys, we have this all-in-one documentation. If you guys have any internships, for now so we are not having any internship, but yeah, you can like join the community where there we share those things. So can I change the Gmail will not change. Sorry guys, once you like register through your one Gmail, you cannot change it again. So guys, moving further, we have this all-in-one documentation where you guys can find the doc link, the attendance and enrollment link for this bootcamp, the session links, the notes which we have prepared for you people. It will help you people in for your future. So you can save this link anywhere to get to refer this. And if ma'am shares any of the resources, any doc link, any link, then we will surely upload it in that one doc itself. So you have to not, my voice is not audible. For certificate, you need to mark your attendance, and on day 3 your certificate will get unlocked, so then you can download it. So guys, I think that was all from my side, and you don't have any queries related to this. Attendance link you can find in the description. We will also add it, like share it on the chat. There is no charge for anything. You don't have to pay anything for the certificate, for the SAP program, nothing. So yeah, attendance link will be shared in the chat. Do not worry for that. So without wasting more time, I will call our trainer for these 3 days of Java bootcamp. That is Shalini ma'am. So guys, please make sure that you are calling your friends also to attend this bootcamp and sharing the knowledge. So yeah, let's call ma'am. So hi ma'am, good evening.
Hi, Anam. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good ma'am. How are you?
I am good. My voice audible?
Yeah, ma'am. So we are done from our side. Like we have informed them about the attendance, and the session is all yours now. You can just give them a short brief about what are we going to learn in these 3 days, and yeah, we can move on then. So thank you,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this awesome session of Core Java. In 3 days, I understand I was seeing the charts, and I can see that there are questions that what we will learn in the 3 days, what we will understand, and that's a very valid question to ask basically because 3 days is not enough for me to cover or for anyone to cover the entire Java, right? So we all understand that, and we aren't here with the assumption that everything is going to be covered in the 3 days. I'll try to make it as simple as possible and as smooth as possible for you all to at least get the basic understanding of programming. What is it? Why do we need it? And the basic concepts. And at the end of the 3 days, there will be a mini project that we will be creating with all the concepts that you have learned. So you'll be learning the basis of programming, variables, data types, operators, conditions, loops, arrays, creating classes, objects of classes, learning what is has a relationship, and we will with these concepts we are going to create a simple code, a simple application, which will be a mini project for you to at least understand, wiring up all the pieces that you have learned, so that you get a big picture of how an entire project is created. Fine. Any questions, anyone? So I am looking at the chat window. If you have anything, do let me know. Anam, you also, if you see anything, please do
Any
update me.
questions, anyone? So I am looking.
Sorry about that. Okay. Now let's quickly get started. So, why Java? Anyone? Three days, how much Java? That's what I said, right? What all you are going to cover is I'm going to cover variables, data types, operators, if else, loops, arrays, creating a class. Yes, that's an editor that you will be using. So, yes, you can use any of the editors: Eclipse, STS, IntelliJ, NetBeans, VS Code, Atom. There are so many editors that's available that you can use for programming. Why Java is important currently? Java is a very stable language, provides integration with lots of other frameworks, and also you are able to create lots of different types of applications. So it provides you with security, it provides you with portability, it provides you with stability, it provides you with flexibility, and it has been there from so many years. So you have lots of support, the community support as well for Java, and it's open source, the beauty of it. So hence Java is popular, and that's why the 3 day session on Java. Okay. Now quickly moving on to Java, to the Java programming language. Anyone can tell me compiler and interpreter? Yes, write it once, run anywhere, platform independent, object oriented. Awesome. It's a programming language. There are many good features provided, improves performance, provides security. Yes. No, pointers is not there. Hence, it's actually very easy to understand because pointers aren't difficult. So for me, everything is difficult if you don't understand. If you understand, the things are simple, right? Okay. What do you understand when I say compiler? Compiles the program? Oh no. So Weber compiler compiles the entire program in one go, and interpreter interprets it line by line. So in Java, we have both, that is compiler as well as interpreter. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll just draw some diagrams and I'll help you understand the basic terminologies that we use in a programming language. Now, whether you learn any programming language, you will require to understand all these concepts. Okay, tell me, when you learn English or when you learn Hindi, I can see many people are coming from different languages. You learn English or you learn Hindi, what is the basic of these languages? What do we learn when we learn these? Anyone? Right. We learn grammar, we learn alphabets, we learn letters, we learn the fundamentals, we learn what is noun, we learn what is verb, we learn what is adjective, or if I talk in Hindi, it will be sangya, sarvanam. Um, I'm not too good in Hindi, but anyway, at least with these part. But yes, sangya, sarvanam, kriya, right? So you have all these things that you learn, and that's exactly what you will be learning here as well. So quickly, then moving on. Mm, I'll just share my screen. So okay. Anam, let me know if my screen is visible. I hope so, yes. Okay. Now, so what all we understood is one, we have something called as compiler, which basically checks for. So, as someone said, that when you're learning any program, any language, English or Hindi, you need to know the grammar. So, the grammar of the programming language is nothing but the syntax. So, what you are learning is you are learning the syntax of a programming language, and if that syntax is as per the language, is nothing but what is checked by the compiler. We all have extensions. So if I write .ppt, I understand is a PowerPoint. When you create a Java file, the extension has to be .java. Compiler checks for the syntax in the .java file, and it converts this to a .class file, which consists of something called as bytecode, which we as humans or developers will not understand. But this bytecode is understood by someone called as interpreter, who understands this code and converts it to the machine understandable code. What is the machine? Machine can be your Mac operating system, machine can be your Windows operating system, machine can be your Linux operating system. So compiler checks for the grammar. Second, then we had the interpreter, which understands the .class file, and it executes every instruction line by line. And if there is any error at 10th line, it will not execute the rest of the lines. It stops the execution and it completes the execution. It will stop for you to rectify the errors. So Java is both compiled and an interpreted language. Now there are various stuff that you need to know when you're learning programming language. The way when you learn English, you learn parts of speech. When you learn a programming language, you have something called as tokens. Now, what are tokens? In tokens, the first thing is there is something called as data type. When we talk about data type, it provides you it provides you with a type of data you want to work upon. So if I don't know, so say for example, I will say, okay, fine, filter the items in the box. Now, if the box consists of, so in the box, there will be, say, different types of items. Maybe say there are toys, maybe say there are books, maybe say there are fruits. So I need to know, right, what type of items are there and what is my requirement. So data type is very important. Java supports 8 data type, that is byte, char, short, int, long, float, double, and you have boolean. Okay, short, int, long, they both are by default integers, means no decimal points. The differences with their sizes, it allows you to store 2 bytes of data, this 4 bytes and this 8 bytes. If I just write 10 for Java, that is an integer. So int is the default data type. We talk about float and double. Float, they allow to store decimal values. Difference, again 4 bytes, 8 bytes. And there is also a difference in terms of the precision that you write. Okay. Byte is a byte which is basically used for data types, or to store data like images, videos, audios, which cannot be represented in terms of numbers or text. Char, if you just want to store a single character, say for example an operator plus. So plus is a single operator which is a character. The next is now, so say for example in real time, um, milk is a type of content which I want to use. But I will need to store milk somewhere. That is a container. That's exactly is the second token, which is a variable. Variable are nothing but they are temporary containers to store data. Because they store data, I need to specify the type of the variable so that Java knows what type of data you are storing. It's as good as I have a bottle which has a label, say water. I know what type of item I'm going to store in this bottle is water. Likewise, the variable you need to mention a type. Next is you have something called as literals. Literals are nothing but constants which remain the same throughout the program. So if I write, say 10, 10 is a constant. I write, say 2.3, it is a constant. Next, we have operators. So, of course, we are writing a program to be able to perform some operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. Maybe say I want to have comparison, so less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and so on and so forth. Next is you have something called as punctuators. Punctuators are nothing but a punctuation marks like in English, where you put a dot, where you put a colon, where you put semicolon, where there is a single apostrophe, where there are double quotes, where there is an exclamation mark, right? These are punctuators. So likewise, it has punctuators like semicolon, it has punctuators like dot, it has punctuators like single quotes, double quotes, and so on. Next is we have something called as separators. So the way in a language, so in English, paragraph separates. I can say we create paragraphs to have a separation, right? Likewise, we have separators. So we leave a line or we leave some space. So space and line becomes a separator. Likewise, separators in programming languages are like curly brackets, square brackets, round brackets, or even the space that we type in is a separator. Okay. Then we have one more which is called as keywords. For example, in English, when I say noun, noun is nothing but that helps us understand a part of that speech or a sentence. Likewise, keywords have special meaning to the Java compiler and interpreter. You cannot use these keywords as variables because it is not allowed. Fine. So this is the basic of why do we need data types, why do we need variables. The type has to be defined for a variable, the operators, punctuators, separators, and keywords, and so on. Next, what I'm going to do is there are few things or the few prerequisites that is required when you start with your journey in Java. First is you need to download JDK. So you can download JDK version 18 and up. So anything is okay. I would suggest to download JDK 17, but JDK 8 is also fine. So you have various versions available. You can also just go with JDK 8. Next is then, so JDK is nothing but a software that consists of the compiler, interpreter, and all the basic stuff for you to be able to start writing programming and giving instructions to the computer as to what you want. Second is you need an editor. The editor which I am going to use is Eclipse. Okay. Raj, I'll come back to keywords again. So whatever I'm putting it over here, I'll come back to that again when I do the coding. So don't worry about it. Okay. That's awesome, Yash. 68 keywords. Nice. Okay. Version can be anything. It can be 8, 11, 17. I would suggest either one of them. I would suggest at least 17 should be there, but you can go with any version. So we will need these two things, JDK and editor. So then moving ahead, if you go and you say, suppose JDK 17 download, you can just go online. You will get the Oracle website. And from here, you will be able to download the JDK based on your operating system. In my case, I'm already having it, so I'm not going to install. Second is you can go for downloading Eclipse. So you can say download Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. So good that you should always download an advanced version of the Eclipse because later on you are not going to stop your journey learning core Java. You're going to create web applications and other types of applications. So it's always better that you download the other enterprise Java and web developers. So when I go here and down, you would see either you can download for Windows or Mac or Linux depending upon your operating system. Once you download, it basically looks something like this. So mine is Mac, so I get the .dmg. In your case, if it is Windows, you will get a .exe. Okay, so you can download the Eclipse and you can download JDK. Once downloaded, after you install, and when you click on the Eclipse icon, you get a launcher something like this. I will go ahead and I click on browse, and I'm going to create a folder over here saying so it's just a folder wherein I will be creating all my projects. I say open. So that is my folder. Reason why I chose desktop, um, it's very easy for us to forget where we created the folder. Hence, it's always better to have on desktop initially. Later on, once you understand, you can choose to open it on any folder on a system. So C drive, D drive, E drive, whatever it is. Now, once you have an Eclipse editor open, I can close this. I sorry, where am I can close this. I can go to File, New, Other, and I can say I want to create a Java project. So I'll give a name to the project. So I would say Java Demos. I'm selecting Java version 17 because that's what I have. And I'm not going to select the module part. Okay. Please make sure you don't select this and you select the proper version that you have installed on your system. And I'll say finish. Once I do this, I'll say open. Okay. So this is the Eclipse editor. I'll minimize all the other windows. I don't need them. Once you have it, you will see the project folder structure and you will see SRC folder. The way you start writing in Java is you start writing creating a class. I'm going to create a package. What is a package? It's nothing but a folder where you put all the similar classes in the folder. It's as good as yes, you can use IntelliJ IDEA. Package is nothing but a folder where it's like a folder. So for example, I can go here. So we have folders, right? So in desktop, you would see different folders are there. Why don't we put everything in one folder? Because it's not easy for us to figure out for something. Say, for example, I'm storing images and every year I celebrate my birthday. I will be having a folder images wherein I will be having a folder birthday and I will be having different folders for different year because it becomes easier for me to search. Yes, you can use VS Code. So that is what the package is. So I'm going to create a package with a name as basic and a simple class called as hello. Now when you create, it creates, because I'm using an editor, it provides you with the basic structure, a keyword package. So again, what is a keyword? Someone asked me, right? Keyword is something that you can see. All those in orange are keywords. That means Java has a predefined meaning for the same. I cannot do this package one, or I cannot say packages. It will not work because that's the keyword. But I can say basic one, I can say basic two, I can do anything. That's okay. I can have any class name. That's my class. Any program that you write basically starts from the main. So the way any building has one main entry door, likewise, when you create applications, they have one entry point. So string args. So this is the basic structure of a Java code. Okay. Now, once I do this, I want to print something. So for printing, I have a function print. I want to print and take the cursor to the next line. So println. Where I want to print, I want to send the output where I want to send the output to the system. So hence system.out.println, and here in double quotes I write hello. Let's do that. Once I do this, I can click on this run icon, and if everything is correct, I will get the output. Okay. Now let me open this console down so that whenever we run, we will see the output here. So we saw the output. Now, um, Akshin, you can watch the recording again, because it's a YouTube session, so it's recorded on the YouTube. So you can watch it again. I understand I should go a bit slow, but it's difficult for me with the 3 days, limited time. But I'll try to go slow, not a problem. Now, here we understood the tokens, right? So let's understand over here how we can leverage whatever we learned over here. I want to store a value 10. So because 10 is an integer, I have a data type int followed by a name of a variable. Suppose I'm storing age of a person. So int age equal to and a value to store in the variable. So int age is equals to 10. Okay. No, Ishwar, no need to install any library. I have increased the font. So Ashay, do let me know if it's visible then. Okay. Now, if you want to print the value, you would be saying system.out dot. Okay, so I've increased the font to let me know if it's a bit fine. And I can say println, and I can print the value inside a variable age. Remember, if you want to print the value in a variable, you don't put double quotes. If you want to print something as it is as a constant, you put double quotes. So now you can see I get the message and I get the value in the age variable. Can someone tell me what will this print? Correct. It will print age as it is and not the value in a variable. It's very important to perfect, awesome, very important to understand. Then when it's a variable, you do not put them in double quotes. I want to print the output. So this is nothing but a single line comment. What is a comment? A comment is something that is ignored by the compiler, and it is only for us developers to understand the code. So if I want to print the content as in your age is and the age. So your age is something constant. So I go ahead, I put in the double quotes and a plus. Now if I run, it prints your age is colon and a 10. Now, after colon, if I want a space, I will have to put the space inside the double quotes for it to be able to print the space. Now you would see I get your age is 10 with a space in between. Okay. Correct. We concatenate. So this is about how do you create variables, data type, and you store a value inside a variable, and how do you print or concatenate the text and the value in a variable. Okay. Now, what if you remove the plus sign? It will give you a compile time error because you cannot have a string and a variable together in Java. You have to separate it out, and that is why the plus sign is there. Okay, so that is what the reason for the plus sign. You want to create a variable of type char. You would be saying char ch equal to a, for example, and you can print the value of ch. It only prints the value inside a variable ch. So this is about data types, variables, the values that you can store, and the way you can print. Moving on next, I'm creating a class called as calculator, which basically declares two variables, a is 3 and b is 5. Now I want to be able to display the result of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and so on. So I can say sysout and a plus b is equal to, and so we can have the plus operator which prints the result of the addition of two values. Likewise, I want to print subtraction, multiplication, division, and mod. So I'll come to what is division and mod as well. So let me make this as 13. Now this will be minus, this will be multiplication, this will be division, and this will be mod. Now if I run this, you would see the first one prints the result of addition, that is 18, 13 plus 5, subtraction, multiplication. What is division? Division gives you the quotient. So when you divide a number, so when I say 13 divided by 5, it is 5 2s are 10 and 3. So 3 is the remainder that it prints. So mod gives you the remainder, and 2 is the quotient that your A divided by B gives you. Okay. String arguments is used because they are called as command line arguments. So these are called as where they are used. If you must have installed any software, at the time of installation, it may ask you your preferred language. Suppose I chose my preferred language as English, right? It will also ask me what is your preferred location to store this software. So these are the command line arguments that you give, that before installation and starting the application, it requires that input to provide with the preference choice of the user. That is the command line arguments. Make sense? Okay. Now, so this is fine. I'm able to display the output. Now, what I want is, if suppose, now, okay, tell me, if I run this program 100 times, will it give me same output? Yes, you can calculate any types of mathematical problems. Same. I don't want this. Now it's not of any usage to me because it is always printing the same result. So in that case, what I want is, I want to be able to take user input. How will I take user input? In Java, we use something called as scanner. When you use scanner, you have to import as the first statement. And I'll create an object, and I will say scanner sc is new scanner. The way system.out sends the output to the systems console, system.in is used to take the input from the systems console. And I say sysout enter number 1, and I want to take the input in number 1, which is A. So I would be saying, instead of this, I'll say sc dot next int. Likewise, I would say enter number 2, and I will be taking the input from the user, that is sc dot next int for number 2. Now if I run the program, you would see now it works for different inputs. So now if I run it again, now this program will work with different inputs. So now my program has become, we call it as dynamic, because I'm able to perform operations on different data. Is that okay? Any questions still here? Now if you would see, if I run and if my first value is 100 and the second value is 200, the result of subtraction gives me minus 100. I don't want it minus 100, means I want to do A minus B. So what I want is, it should do A minus B if A is greater than B, or else it should do B minus A. That means what? If a certain condition is true, do this, else do that. That is where then we have conditional programming. Okay, so to see that, I'll create, okay, I can do it in this only. So then I'll say if. So as we say in plain English, it's almost the same way you write. If syntax is round bracket, what is the condition? A greater than B, then say A minus B, else I want B minus A. So this is how the conditional statement is used, wherein you say if it is greater, do this, else do that. So we are able to have conditions. So I say 12, I say 15, it does. So let me put this here. So you can see it does B minus A and not A minus B. If I run it again, and this time I put first as 100, second is 89. Now it does 100 minus 89 and not 89 minus 100. Okay. Dynamic means at runtime it is taking the values, right? So I'm providing dynamic means changing. Dynamic means changing, something that is changing. So every time I run the program, I'm able to provide different inputs, because of which I get different outputs. That is dynamism. So I'm adding dynamism to my code. Now this is done and dusted. I'm able to do conditional programming. Now, instead of writing so many statements and printing all the results, what about if my user says that user wants to have a choice whether they want to do plus, minus, multiplication, division, and based on if user says they want to perform addition, I only go with addition. Let's see how we can do that. So then I would be taking one more input, that will be enter operator. I would maybe say choose /n to go to next line, 1 for plus. Then I would say /n, 2 for minus. Then I can say /n, 3 for multiplication. Then I can say /n, 4 for division. Okay. Now if I run this, and I would say in choice. Now once the user enters 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I run and show you this, how it looks like. enter number 1, enter number 2, and it says choose either one of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what I want is, instead of all this that I have done, user only wants result of one kind of operation. So I can say if ch equal to 1, then go ahead and perform the addition. Else, if ch equal to 2, then go ahead and perform the subtraction. And again, the subtraction should be um, a positive value. So again, I can write an if inside a if. Likewise, then again I can say if ch is 3, in that case it's multiplication. If ch is 4, in that case it is division. And now I don't need this, it's fine. If it is neither of them, else 1, 2, 3, 4, I can say wrong input. Okay. So if I run, I would see 12 and I'll say 7. I choose 1. It gives me the result of only addition that I am looking for. So we saw variables, we saw data types, we saw the if-else conditions, how you can use. We actually have a simple calculator which basis on the input choice which I make, it is able to provide me with the conditional output. Okay. Yes, Saurabh, 0 by 0 will give you an error, arithmetic exception, divide by 0. Thanks, Harsh, for answering the same. Okay. Because I want to take the next integer value, so that is a syntax to take the int as an input in Java. That is why. Okay. We discussed this concatenation, otherwise it will give me an error. If I do this, it's a compile time error. Your string and the expression or variable needs to be concatenated. Now we haven't introduced. Now, say for example, if you see here, you run the program, you enter the values, it checks, done and dusted. What about if I want to run this program infinitely until the user chooses to exit? So I will add one more option here, /n5 for exit. If I run, definitely I get the option of exit, but I need to handle what to do for exit. I'll go here and I'll say else if ch is equal to 5, then I may just exit. So I can say thanks. And to exit the entire program, I can say system.exit 0. So just to show you that it works, if I run it again, I enter the values and I choose 5, it exits. So you can see program ends. Fine, this is fine, but it doesn't make sense, right? What I want is, if suppose I enter two values. So for example, I go ahead, I enter 4, I enter 8, I choose an operator called as multiplication, it gives me the result. It has to again ask me the same menu. It should ask me the same menu to be able to choose, enter new values and choose an operator. Means I have to repeat. What we need is, I need to repeat these entire steps again. Whenever you have something for repetition, okay, whenever you want to repeat, there is a construct introduced called as loops. You can either use for or you can use a while loop. In my case right now, I'm going to use a while loop. Okay. Now, why we use zero? Acha, that's to tell the interpreter to terminate the stuff smoothly. So, zero is a value that it requires to say that nothing went wrong and everything is fine, and just exit smoothly. That is all it means. Now, if I want to repeat the steps again and again, I would say while true. So, true implies till the time it is true, it has to go on and do these things. So, while true, done. So, I've put the entire code inside a while block. So, now let's see. I'll run 2, 4, 1 addition. You can see it again gave me the menu because I've used a loop. So it is repeating the stuff until I say exit. Again, I enter two values and I choose an operator, say 3 multiplication result. Again, it asks me to enter a value. So I enter some values. Now, if I press 5 to exit, you can see the program stops. Otherwise, it was continuously read. Is that okay? So this is how basically it's about the basic constructs of variables, data types, why conditional programming is used, what is the importance of if else, and what is the importance of loop, that is we saw the while loop. Now, okay. Um, what if we want to set the condition? I didn't get that in while. We will see that setting the condition. So this was about how you can have the flow of the session and flow of the code, and why do you have different programming constructs, right? Now, let's understand for and while. So whenever you have for, it's basically is used for fixed iterations. What do I mean by fixed iterations? See, iteration is nothing but whenever you want to repeat something again and again, is you call that as iteration. That is a terminology that we use in programming. So iterations, when you want to repeat something again and again. Now, for is used for fixed iteration implies when I say take 5 okay. So if I say do something for 5 numbers, that's it. That means it's fixed. I know I have to repeat something 5 times. For 5 times. So I know that I have to do something for 5 times. That means I know the fixed number of times I want to repeat. Now, whenever you have a loop, you have 3 parts to it. So every loop has 3 parts. That is, first is the initial value. From where do you want it to start? Second is, then you have when do you want it to stop? So because it's a finite loop, it has fixed iterations, you need to specify when do you want to stop. It's as good as I'll say, okay, fine, go ahead and take 5 rounds of a garden. You start with initial. If I say, okay, go and take rounds of a garden, fine, you can go ahead. You can start your counting with 1, 2, 3, 4, but you need to know when to stop. So when will you stop? Only when you know how many times you have to take the rounds. If I say 5 times, that means you know the fixed number of times. That is the stop condition. And the next condition is the step value, which basically specifies, because I cannot keep on counting 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? I take a round of a garden. I say 1, 1, 1. I'm never going to reach 5. So I also have to say 1, then plus 1, 2, plus 1, 3. That is the step value. So the same way, the initial is the first part. Int I, again, it's a variable where we store the value. So I will say for int I equal to 1 is the initial value. When do I stop? Till the time this condition is true, I have to execute. If the condition becomes false, I have to stop. Semicolon. And then I want to increment by 1, I can use plus plus. So what is plus plus is nothing but it is used to increment the value in a variable by default by 1. It always increments by 1. Okay. So then I can go ahead and I can say sys out, and suppose I say I. So what it is doing, it is repeating printing something for 5 times. So you can see it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now can someone tell me what will be the result of this? Yes, anyone? The result of I into I. Correct. It will print the square of numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. If I want to write the same loop using while, I would say int j equal to 1. So initial value. While has a syntax which only takes the condition. So j less than equal to 5. And then I will have the same stuff over here just with the variable j. So I can say j into j into j. For example, I want to print the cubes, and then I can say j plus plus. And I can put here a sys out. So first one prints the squares and the second one prints the cubes. If you want it horizontal, then you will be removing print. And now if I run it, it will be horizontal, but it doesn't look good. You need to add a space. So I would be saying, I'll put this in round brackets for the mathematical expression. And then I can put a space. And then I want the cubes on the next line. So I can just have an empty println. Okay. So this is how you can have a for loop and you can have a while. Now, say for example, I want to take, so I want to write a program to take 10 numbers as input and print their square root, for example. Okay, so either I can create 10 variables, int x1 equal to sc dot next int, and so on. I can go on. Alternatively, I can add a loop and I can say, and then I want to be able to take 10 values as input. So I will need a scanner, and I can say here and sc dot next int. Okay, and then I want to print the square root. So I would be saying sysout and x, whatever the value in x is, and the square root. So I have a math class where I can say square root of x. If you run this, so I'll comment out the previous code. We don't need that for now. Yes, so math dot, if you say, you have lots of inbuilt functions over there. Trigonometric, logarithmic, exponential, so you can do that. Okay. We will have to use some library to use input. You can use scanner, you can use input stream reader, you can use buffered input stream reader. There are many, but scanner is the easiest one to use and that is popularly used. So if I go ahead and run, it takes value 1 and square root of the same, value 2, value 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see 7, 8, 9 and 10. So for every new value, it is taking the input, calculating the square root and printing it. Yeah, you can use math.random, but what will happen is with math.random, it will have random values. Here the user is giving the input. So I can choose, I want to get square root of which number. That's the advantage. In random, it's a random value, you don't have control over it. Okay, now this is fine. This is done and dusted, and this is working. I'm not liking the way the output is generated. Why? What I'm not liking is here I'm entering the value 1 and I'm printing it then and there. How about if I have an option where I say enter 10 values? So I will be entering, say, 10 values, whatever it is. Okay, and then I want to display a table number and the square root for the same. So it will look neat. 12 and the square root, 5 and the square root, 1 and the square root. Okay, now how will I do this? Because I have a single variable x. Now x as a variable can store only one value at a time, which is very difficult because x is a normal variable. It can only store one value at a time. What I want is x should be a variable which is able to store all these values, and then I'm able to check one value and print the square root. X is a normal variable which has the capabilities to store only one value at a time. You want to be able to store more than one value, you have a programming construct called as arrays. What are arrays? They're nothing but variables, but they are special type of variables or containers that can store more than one value of same type. Okay, so they can store more than one value of same type. That is what arrays are. So let's see how we can create arrays and how we can modify our code to be able to store more than one values and display an output like this. And that will be the last topic for today. So I'll go ahead. To create an array variable, you create a variable, you can give any name to it, followed by a single square bracket equal to, and you want to, there are two ways. You want to provide values here only, or you want to take user input. So I want to say new int and provide. So I'm going to just say size 5. So what this statement means is create an array to store 5 values. Okay, so this means create an array to store 5 values. Again, now I'm going to have the for loop, same thing. The only difference is with arrays, there are few concepts. For example, when I create an array to store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values, right? When I store 5 values, because it's not just a single value, so I also need to know the location or the position of a value in the array. That is where, so say for example, I have first value 10, second value 8, third value say 15, fourth value is 3, and the fifth value is 64. And I want to be able to print the square roots of these values. So in that case, it basically supports something called as indexing. So you can assume indexing is something like you have books which have an index on the front page which specifies particular chapter starts at what location. Exactly, indexing is the same thing. The only difference is the index of first element is 0, then it's 1, then it is 2, then it is 3, and then it is 4. So if I go here, I would be saying I equal to 0. How many elements are there? 5 and I plus plus. So this loop runs 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Because it's I less than 5, when it actually becomes 5, 5 less than 5 is false. So it will stop. What I want, again, I'll have a scanner. Okay, and from the scanner, again the same stuff. So I would say enter value, and now numbers, because I want to store the value at a particular index. Square bracket I equal to sc dot next int. So what I am saying, get the first value and store that first value in the first index of the array, I equal to 0. If just with this, I go ahead and print the array for you, you will see numbers of I. So I run, I enter 27391. So you can see the array actually has 5 values. At index 0 is 2 because that's what I entered the first value, then 7, then 3, then 9, and then 1. Okay. Then square values like two values only after decimal. Yes, yes, you can do all that stuff. That's possible. Okay. Now I want to modify. Yeah, this is only Java. Now I want to modify the same code that we had to print square root to create a table. How do I create a table? So then I would be saying, instead of this, I'll have number, I'll say slash t for tab, and put a heading square root. Heading is printed only once, right? And then here I would say print the value at index I slash t, and then square root of numbers of I. So now if I run, enter value 0, enter value 1, enter value 2, enter value 3, enter value 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values are there. You can see number and the square root of the same. Now I'm able to get a nice table. Because I have used arrays, it is easier for me to store the values in the array and then retrieve them later. Okay. Now let's have a quick revision. Slash t stands for tab, which actually leaves some space. So you can see there is this space which is of tab key, the tab space. Perfect. Thanks, Archie. Okay. Now we have learned variables, data types, operators, if else, loops, and arrays. Let's create a small, maybe you can say a project to demonstrate the same, so that it's a kind of revision as well in what we did till now. Um, yes, Saurabh, that is enough, but you will have to work on DSA extensively to be able to clear for interview. So let's say I want to create a bank. So a bank will have, so what is my requirement? Is a bank will have account holders, and every account holder will have some initial balance in their account. So to create account holders, so we have seen how you can take user input in array. So you can do that. I'm not doing that. I want to create an array that can hold account numbers of say 5 customers. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or maybe I can take this as string. So you also get introduced to string, and to store string values. So account 1, account 2, account 3, account 4, and account 5. Okay. I also want to store the balances. So I would say double balance array equal to. And then I can store the values. So account 1 balance is 1000, account 2 balance is 500, account 3 balance is 9000, say account 4 balance is 8900, and account 5 balance is say 10,000. Okay. So what I have done, an array to store 5 account holders and an array to store balance for the same 5 account holders. So the first value represents a balance for the first account holder. Now I want to be able to display a message to the user. I will say while true. Okay. And I will say, suppose So again, I'll have a scanner. And here I would say enter account number. So I need to know the account number. So it is string. So I would say string account number equal to sc dot next. Okay. Next is I would want to ask the user once the account number. Okay. Once I enter the account number, I would want to search. Okay. Let's do that part tomorrow maybe. If time permits, we will do. Now I would also ask the user, for example, choose one. Do you want to withdraw? 2. Do you want to deposit? Okay. So int choice equal to sc dot next int. I would say if choice is equal to 1 means user wants to withdraw. I will then say sysout enter amount to withdraw. There is a homework for you all that you will be doing it and put your answer in chat window tomorrow. Okay. I say enter amount to withdraw and double amount equal to sc dot next double. Now once I do this, I would be saying because I want to reduce the balance because it's a withdrawal for whichever the account number is, I would say double balance is equal to. First of all, I will need to get the index of the account number. So here when it enters the account number, I would say for int I equal to 0, I less than account numbers dot length. So I can also use account numbers dot length to get the length. I can use 5 because I know it's 5. If you don't know, you can also use this. So length will give you number of elements in the array, that is 5. Okay. And here I want to search and then I want to get the index. So we're also learning searching. So I would say index initially is 0. And I'll say if whatever account number entered by the user is, now account number is a string. I cannot say double equal to. I will be saying equals to the account numbers in the array. If it is yes, then I would say index equal to I. And that's it. See, my searching is done. I found the account number. I need to stop. I can say break. So you are also introduced to one more keyword called as break. What will break do? Break will come out of this loop. Now once I have the index, I would be saying balance of I, balance of index, because if the account number is A1, for that index I want to get the balance and subtract amount from the same, and then I want to be able to update. So I would say balance of index equal to the balance which we calculated. Now this will go on and on and on and on until I stop. So I can say here choose this and 3 to exit. So if choice is 1, I do this. If else, if choice is 2, I would say enter amount to deposit, and then instead of minus, it will be plus. Else, I would say maybe I can say log out. That's what we do. We log out and I say break. So when I say break over here, it will break this while loop. And in the last, if you want to see the output that it works, so basically I can say let's display. So for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I can write, I know there are only 5 account, and I can display the account numbers and their balance. So let's see if this withdraw deposit worked or not. Yes, you can use switch as well. Definitely. Okay. If I enter account number, I say A1. It'll ask me to withdraw. I say 1. Enter amount to withdraw 500. Okay. Again it continues. Enter account number. I say A3. What I want to do, I want to deposit. How much do I deposit? 1000. Enter account number A4. Choose, I say exit. And now you can see for the account 1 it became 500 and for account 3 it became 10,000. So we have also seen kind of a mini assignment where we learn how to use arrays, operators, loops, break, if else, data types, and everything in one. So that's all from my side for today, and we will meet again tomorrow with new topic for tomorrow. Any questions till here? I'll just wait another 2 minutes, or else we can end the session. So account number is actually coming first only. Okay. That had been shared with you by the Let's Upgrade team, and whatever demos I have done, they will also be uploaded on the same for the reference. Don't worry about it. It will be there. What should we learn? What should we learn to at least enter in CS field, get job as a fresher? Learn any one programming language, C, C++, Java, Python, anything that you want. Um, you can learn that. There is no hard and fast that you should have to learn this or you have to learn that only. Just get your hands uh, dirty. You should actually code. It is very, very important. Okay. And yeah, that is all. Okay. So thanks all of you from my side. And that is all. And thank you so much. And see you all. Bye bye.